Welcome to the second episode of Interesting Maneuvers. We're going to be talking about the TIE Advanced Prototype. Probably my favorite ship from Wave 8.
I think it's amazing. It's just a better A-Wing.
I hate you.
I know you do.
And we all love to make Ethan pissed.
Yeah. It's not just a better A-Wing, it's a better TIE Advanced, and it's a better TIE Interceptor.
I'm not sure about that one. I think with the title, I think the TIE Advanced has really solidified its spot where it is. I think it's perfectly fine where it is. It doesn't really have a challenger because it's a more defensive TIE Advanced prototype, and the TIE Advanced prototype is a little bit more like the Interceptor, but it's not like they don't... I think they work well together, they don't overlap with each other.
I think it's the perfect blend of all three.
Yeah.
It's a really solid ship. The named pilots are both insane. The Inquisitor always being at range 1 when attacking with his primary, negates auto thrusters. You're always a 3 attack die ship, which...
They never get the bonus defense dice.
They never get the bonus defense die, which is big.
Valen
Rooter is going to be insane, especially with something like PTL. Just give him actions on cards and turtle up for a little bit and just action for days.
And the Baron of the Empire is a really good generic. Pilot skill 4, that's competitively high. Having an EP2 built in, that's really nice. On a good platform.
It also
19 points. It's so good.
The pilot skill 4 gets you over the Predator threshold, which is big. We might see the resurgence of just 4 Arc Dodgers again, much like we saw before Wave 4-5 with Royal Guard ties.
Yeah.
Strapping PTL, title, and auto thrusters. Effectively, you're either out of arc or you have a target lock and an evade token.
I think it's a great ship, and at 25 points, I think it fits nicely into a lot of slots for Imperial fleets. But I think we're not going to see 4 generics just because I think you run into a damage output problem. They're not quite interceptors. They don't have that 3 attack dice, and that is a big blow to their ability to kill ships on their own. I think it's a really good ship, but I don't think it's quite enough to stand on its own.
Yeah, I think though with the amount of 1 defense or 0 defense die ships that we're going to be seeing with the Ghost, with Y-Wing still being prevalent, I think with guidance chips from the advanced prototype, we may see more Punishers and Bombers. Probably not, but I think even Lambdas with Emperor Palpatine, good old Uncle Wrinkly, I think 4 advanced prototypes could see play. I think they could do very well.
Against those specific
I think it's
ships,
gonna. I agree. It might run into issues with high defense ships.
But I think
especially the Rebel, a lot of the Rebel fleets with the regenerating shields, I don't think you just have the sustainability to take that out.
Yeah, possibly.
What do you think, Sam?
I think that these ships with proton rockets and the new guidance chips, that's going to be really hot. That's going to be a lot like an A-Wing swarm, but with even more defense than what you get with A-Wings. The ability to target lock and then get a focus, or an evade token, I should say, with the title. That's going to bring a whole new level of defense. They have a built-in boost and barrel roll. You can have 4 of them all over the place at range 1 with proton rockets.
I don't think you can get 4 with rockets, though.
You can get 4 with rockets and auto thrusters. You just couldn't.
You couldn't give them PTL, but they can. They'll still be everywhere.
I really like the pilot skill 2 guys. I don't think we'll see too many of the pilot skill 4. For 3 points, you jump up 2 pilot skill in game EPT. I think that's really expensive for Imperials.
I think on a boost barrel ship, we'll see it.
It's solid. I don't think it's as good as like any of the named interceptors that can take PTL.
I think it's as good as a Royal Guard tie because you can pick up auto thrusters for 25
PTL.
Points. For 25
For
points.
25 points.
I think we'll see it.
I actually don't think we're going to see the 2-point generic because I think it competes with the other generic like cheapo Imperial ships, the TIE Fighter and the TIE FO. And I think in those 2 cases, it actually isn't quite as good. Although it's like a better ship, certainly. The fact that it's like more of a threat, I think, is going to see it being like taken out. It's not that much harder to kill than a TIE fighter or a TIE FO, and I think the TIE FO has an interesting dial that can put it into places that this thing can't go, or in facings that it can't have. And then the TIE fighter is significantly cheaper, so...
Although for 17 points, picking up with Tidal is... Or even 20 points, Tidal and Proton Rockets.
That could be good. 5 of those.
5 of those could be silly. 5 of those could be silly.
I don't know.
You're gonna lose 1 or 2 before they get to shoot, but...
I think with the test pilots, I think there's going to be a lot of like Decimator, 2 test pilots with cluster missiles and guidance chips. Some 3-ship build where it's just got 2 of these guys just chuds with.
I think with
YOLO rockets. And
I think with that build, I think you're better off with concussion missiles with guidance chips. It's a guaranteed like 99% 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I think just 2 unaltered attack rolls. We get the guidance chips. One of them with the cluster missiles. I think it is outshadowed by the upside of the cluster or concussions. Plus, it gives you the range 3 shot, which I think you're going to want against some big ships. Then you close the gap. So
the only other card that we didn't talk about yet is the new Thread Tracers. What do you guys think of that?
Meh.
It's interesting. I think for a squad leader in a weird kind of missile boat list, run it with like Lieutenant Blount and a horde of Z-95s with cluster or concussion missiles, and just run it at someone's face. You could take out a Decimator really quick with, rapid concussion missile blasts.
I don't like the fact that it has to hit. Like, for me, that's the concern. Yeah, sure, you're probably running guidance chips, so it's unlikely not to have at least 1 hit.
You also don't have to spend your target lock to fire it.
To focus.
To focus.
Oh,
And,
well, you also don't have to spend that.
That's nice. But you can still roll 3 blanks.
Yeah.
And even with guidance chips, that's only 1 hit. Unless you're running against something that doesn't have agility, there's a serious chance that it can dodge it. And you've just spent, 1 point, but you just spent an attack opportunity and gotten no benefit from it.
But in the same regard, if you have it on a Z-95, or most things that will take it are 2 attack dice ships anyways, they're going to have a higher probability of dodging your 2 attack shot. So you're still doing 0 damage, but you have the upside of giving multiple ships a target lock on.
Well, I think it'll do real great on, like, Lieutenant Blount from Rebels, like, obviously, because it always hits, so he's always going to get that benefit. And I don't exactly see a problem with it on, like, a Chud generic ship. That's true. But like you said, the most typical place it's going to be in is in those leader positions, and then you're talking about the Inquisitor or Valen Ruder for the...
I don't think we'll see it in Imperialists. I think that's kind of a thing that maybe someone like Garvin Drace or Aaron Kraken or especially Lieutenant Blunt will take in a Z-95 swarm. Maybe in a scum Z-95 swarm, but I don't see it with Imperials. I don't think you gain enough of a benefit from having a target lock on a lot of TIE fighters versus something that can take munitions. I think we could run like 5 concussion missile Z-95s and Lieutenant Blount and wreck face from range 3 on turn 2.
I think you could do something interesting with Thread Tracers on one of the lower pilot skill guys, youngster with Expose and a little swarm. Just have a little bundle of hate.
Yeah. Again, I think if you're going that route, yeah, I could see it. But, as we'll get to in one of our next episodes, I think Youngster Expose is going to be a thing of the past, with Rage being a card.
Probably.
So I think one thing we haven't addressed with the Inquisitor is the green 1-turns, which is all sorts of fun.
Super powerful.
Yeah, this guy's got a ridiculous dial.
It really is a better A-Wing. Like, sure, the A-Wing has the 5 forward green, but I would really trade that 5 forward green for 1 banks on an A-Wing.
Even if they were white.
Even if they were white. God, this
It definitely doesn't suffer from
Movement issues.
Like the Interceptor, when he gets into the fight, it's really hard with an Interceptor to keep on the
You
same
can't
ship.
outslow things.
Yeah, you can't outslow things. And this guy, being able to boost barrel roll and do a one turn, eliminate his stress from
Yeah,
from
it
push.
can pace things and outpace things when it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to see a lot of play.
I mean, I'm glad it doesn't have the 1-4. That really would be too powerful.
Yeah.
It'd be very strong.
What do you guys think, now that guidance chips, and then I was just thinking about this, what do you guys think about, like, missile boating an M3 Interceptor from Scum now, because you have that option?
I think the M3 Interceptor needs a Scum Veterans upgrade.
I mean, I don't disagree, but I mean...
You're spending a lot of points to give that a missile slot, and at minimum 5 points to an already 15-point ship to give it a missile slot with...
14.
Oh, was it 14 points. So yeah, it's I don't see it. I think since Scum have Z95s, I think you can do a missile boat list with more missile boats.
Yeah.
Which I think if that's what your plan is with something like Thread Tracers to give you that Alpha Strike, I think you want as many ships as possible.
I think a 17-point thing to give everyone around you some, target locks wouldn't be that horrible for Scum.
You do it for 13 points with a Z95.
Yeah, but it's not as dodgy and it's not as fast or as maneuverable.
It's more durable.
Slightly.
Yeah. I don't know. I think just in general the M3 needs more assistance than a Thread Tracer trick. I mean, very possibly with the next iteration of the M3, because I'm sure at some point in the pipeline we'll be seeing a Scum and Villainy Aces or Veteran pack, and I think
Definitely.
the M3 will be in there.
Maybe even in 2016.
Maybe even in
Hopefully.
probably not.
Hopefully.
I think
2019 will be great.
I think with Wave 8, Scum's in a good place. I don't think they need to shore up any old ships yet. I think we'll see Rebel Veterans before we see Scum. That's just my...
Scum already
my-
has a ton of great ships,
Oh.
and the M3 Interceptor is just not one of them. It's okay. I don't see it getting used
It's not
like
okay.
ever.
It's bad.
I think, the issue with the M3
Maybe
is
Saracen.
it wants to have a position, which is like the A-Wing / Interceptor, but you have other ships that do it better, like the Star Viper and the Kurzak's Fighter. So it would need a fundamental role change, and I don't know if we're going to see that this soon. So,
All right. Well,
anything else on the Inquisitor tie, gentlemen?
I think we covered pretty much everything. I mean, the dial is amazing. The named pilots are amazing.
The unnamed
Even
pilots
the
are
chuds
amazing.
amazing.
Its upgrade slots are amazing.
Yeah, it's
because it can take a modification.
And if
That's
only to
all
get
it
guidance
needs.
chips, it would be worth it.
Guidance
I think
chips or auto thrusters are this ship's best friend. Like, depending on how you plan to use it.
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to check out the channel and see all of our thoughts on the new Wave 8 ships, and also all of the new Wave 8 ships in all the battle reports that we're going to be doing. So we'll catch you guys later.
I forget what we're calling this thing.
Interesting maneuvers.